What is y'all, and your main pal, your social media loving character right here, y'all, and my YouTube channel right here, and your favorite pal, Dr. Dude on YouTube channel, Dr. Dude here. Alright, y'all. Today's video is another history video I wanted to talk about. Alright, not only a history video, but also a movie review. I wanted to y'all to learn and listen, and you would like this one. Alright, so here it is. This history movie I'm going to talk about was made in 2004. It was considered a movie that teach many people in Texas the history of how everything changed in America and stuff, and how this one revolutionary war changed the course of history. Alright, this movie was my favorite historical story that teaches me and my heritage in this state right here. I talk about the 2004 The Alamo. The Alamo 2004 movie, I considered it the most accurate story of how the Battle of the Alamo began and how the Alamo had ended as well, and also who won the battle and stuff. Okay, because this movie right here is more accurate than all the Texas historical movie or show that came out over the past since film was started and stuff. Alright, I talk about how this movie is a lot better than the 1960 John Wayne The Alamo, which to me is kind of inaccurate of how the battle happened and how this historical event that played out and stuff. And also another one I hated the most, which I did a video about on my channel. Alright, I did a history review on this show, which I hate this show a lot. Alright, I consider that the most inaccurate storytelling of the Texas Revolution. Alright, I call it called Texas Rising. Alright, if you want to see my video, right here, here's the title, go check that out. Alright, so the 2004 Alamo to me is really good. Alright, it shows how the battle really happened, how the story began, and all of that stuff right here. Okay, the actor who played Sam Houston is Dennis Quaid, which I love him as Sam Houston. Well, I like Bill Paxton as Sam Houston because his ancestor is Sam Houston. Alright, from the Texas Rising, but Dennis Quaid did well on the movie as well, which to me it really amazed me how this movie helps learn the history of our state and how it all began and stuff. Okay, and how the battle changed the course of the whole entire Revolutionary War. The other actor who played in the Alamo, he played as Davy Crockett, and I love him so much. Billy Bob Thornton, the guy who played Davy Crockett. He was in Bad Santa as well. But Billy Bob Thornton, he did well at Davy Crockett. I consider him the best actor to ever play Davy Crockett. Nobody can outgun or act Billy Bob Thornton at Davy Crockett. Okay, y'all? Oh man, I love that. So anyway, the 2004 Alamo, what to me is the best historical movie I ever watched in my life. Y'all know I don't like how critics or how the box office did bad in the after they came out and stuff, which I terribly mad with critics when they say crap about the Alamo. Alright, so anyway, the Alamo is tell the story about the whole entire Texas Revolution, what it caused, what it's supposed to be happening and stuff. Right? If you guys want to know history about the Texas Revolution, let me tell you about it. Alright, so Texas, out of all 49 states, Texas is considered the only state that has been controlled by many colonials, and today country we are all living in and stuff. 6 colonial countries try to take this territory right here. The whole entire territory was fought over by 6 countries. Alright, first up, Spain, that held that territory the most, that last 300 years. France, who tried to take some territory in Texas, but they had to go up against the Spanish and Native American warriors and enemies to France. And so the French abandoned the territory of Texas, leaving Spain take over it for 300 years until in the 1800s when Spain losing its power and dominance in the New World. Countries of Spanish colony decided to take revolt against the Spanish. The most famous country that went up against Spain was Mexico, who fought against the King of Spain and his army in order to win independence, which they did in 1821, creating the Constitution of 1821 in Mexico. Alright, so it also, by the time in the early 1830, while technically under the rule of Mexican government, Santa Anna, the man who controlled Mexico and also overthrow the Mexican Empire and the monarchy in Mexico, alongside with rebel league groups that go against the empire and stuff, alongside with those who were settlers who offered territories to foreigners who came to start a new life in Mexico and stuff, to overthrow the empire of Mexico and put in the republic again. But however, they changed it when Santa Anna decided to take all the land, abolish slavery in the territory itself, in order to put more taxes on the foreign immigrants that came from America. Mad, alright? And so, in 1835, a group of armed Texas rebels have a little cannon at Gonzales, which belonged to the Mexican authority. They demand the cannon to return back to the Mexican army, but however the rebels refused. And so in 1835 at Gonzales, the Texas Revolutionary War began. Okay, that's how the revolution began, because of all that. Okay, so by the time when the Revolutionary War began, Texas rebels managed to beat Mexican forces, driven them out of the territory itself, in order to capturing the city that we all know in Texas, considered a historical city that I consider the historical, San Antonio. Alright, and where there is a great mark and all the great fort that the Texas Army used to defend the army against the army of Santa Anna forces. Alright, and that fort is known as the Alamo. It used to be a missionary church that run by the Spanish monks back in the time when the Spanish mission tried to spread Christianity and Catholicism to Native American, but however it got abandoned. And so the Alamo was abandoned ever since like somewhere in the mid 1700s. Okay, and so the Alamo became a fort to the Texas Revolutionary Army in order to keep them away from the headquarters where Sam Houston and the other Texas congressmen who tried to decide what to do against Santa Anna and the Mexican forces. So, and also we see the story how Sam Houston had a problem with other members of the Texas Congress, saying that we should talk peace. We don't want war, and the other side want war against the Mexican army, and all to tell how Santa Anna broke in the Constitution in 1821, made himself into a dictator, and considered himself Napoleon of the West, and all that military stuff as well. And Sam Houston believed that the Alamo will be the place to help fend off against the Mexican army and prevent Santa Anna from going much further than to the Texas Congressman. So they decided to select the commander to defend the Alamo and take over at least 200 men to defend San Antonio. They picked the colonels for this mission. Colonel William Travis, who used to be a lawyer back in the U.S., but however he was a well-known, popular, good lawyer over there. You got Jim Bowie, a nice man with a big, huge Bowie knife that we all know today and being used in Texas as a tool to cut leather, cut meat, cut wood as well. And finally, another colonel that would come in 3 days after entering the fort, and we all know him as the man of the wild, Davy Crockett, which I love this man so much. Do you know that he was against moving Native Americans out of their territory and went up against Andrew Jackson in the election back in the early 1830s, but he lost to him so bad. I felt sorry for Davy Crockett, alright? He was against moving Native Americans and Cherokees away from their homeland. That was their land and stuff. And so, Davy Crockett and 17 of his men decided to leave America and decided to help the man to defend San Antonio and help them win the revolution and stuff. But then, as soon they were getting ready to build the defense in the Alamo, the Santa Anna Army, alongside with 1,200 forces, Mexican forces, outside of San Antonio, and words that got out on the Mexican Army are near San Antonio, they ordered all the men and women to go to the Alamo to take cover and stay safe away from the enemy. It's kind of crazy how people predicted how many forces that Santa Anna brought with him against the defenders. He would say it was 5,000, but then it changed to more than 3,200, which later on in the 90s it become more than like 1,800, and now we're learning that it more than 1,200 Mexican forces that were at the Alamo ready to attack. Santa Anna planning to build a little wall and build the cannon east of them and prepare to bombard the Alamo. The Alamo defend the Alamo for less than 13 days in the fort. Crazy how that many Alamo defender did kill during those 13 days. Artillery bombardment and met waves of soldiers, like little forces, like 20 or 30 of them trying to attempt to test the strength of the enemy. You have to learn your enemy as much as you want to learn about the one like yourself and stuff. And Santa, throughout 13 days, grow impatient of the situation because his cannons wouldn't penetrate the wall itself or make a dent, like make a hole in it. Many attempts were happened, but no results. And when the Texas Defenders fired their cannons, there were some damages to the Mexican forces, like less than for the past 13 days, like 5 or 10 of them got killed during the attempt to attack the Alamo, right? And so, while they tried to defend the Alamo, and also they tried to send more letters and more mail to Sam Houston, they need more men. They need more men to defend the Alamo. But Sam Houston is refusing to do so because he needs the men to defend against the bigger forces that he is worried about. Alright? So by 8th or 9th day, they felt like they will not get any help from the army itself. They all know they're ready. They know they're about to die eventually. So what they had to do before that, Santa asked the defender to release release the women and children out of the fort, so that way they won't be able to hurt them at all. Plus, as I go forward with this story, I'd like to thank y'all so much to help me reach 2,000 subscribers on this channel. I really thank you so much for that, okay? It amazed me. Alright, so anyways, at the 12th day of the defending the Alamo, Santa Anna ordered all his officers to plan the attack in the middle at the morning night. Alright, he planned on attacking the north side of the wall, the east side of the wall, and the south a wall, like with all his men ready to attack. And get this, he ordered all his men to do not leave any man alive. Alright? And some of the Mexican authority in the situation refused. Some of them refused to want to kill every single man and women in that fort, because to them it's like not a traditional way to do that stuff. But Santa Anna, to him, he doesn't want that to happen to them again in the next battle. They don't want to surrender. They don't want to let none survive and tell his tale of what he did and all that thing he done to them. To him, like it's like leaving breadcrumb to the enemy. All right. Santa see us as pirates in the story. All right. It kind of make me mad with Santa how he doing things not in their traditional way in Mexican military. He said that he wanted to make it better for the army itself, and so at around the morning night sky, the Mexican forces had decided to attack the Alamo itself. Now, when news got heard, and also guns fired all around the Alamo and stuff, then bad news for them that Jim Bowie cannot fight in this battle at all right now, because he was ill in the medical room, cannot move his body that much. He cannot be able to defend himself in the situation he was in. And so the battle began. There were 3 waves that Mexican army in the battle was. First wave of Mexican forces attacked the wall, but with no success in the situation. Second wave did so as well. What makes it terrible for the Mexican army to lose a lot of men is because they don't have nothing to cover, because all the little houses that were around the Alamo were burned, so no Mexican can hide from bullets and artillery shells that were hitting them. They were like target practice for the Alamo defenders. They were out in the field. By the time the third wave hit, more Mexican forces starting to go in, starting to try to breach the wall. In one of the walls that William Travis was, he died there. He was shot in the head by one of the Mexican riflemen in the battle. While William Travis, the wall they were at started to fall apart. Mexican army had breached the walls and flowing in, killing the one who tried to defend it. And so more forces coming in to that wall, focusing there, and starting to kill each defender one by one. It was sad to see how many Texans tried to fight back, but none didn't make it through the night. By the time the other wall that which they were targeted at, they noted that Mexican forces are entering the wall. So they decided to fall back to the Alamo itself, try to prevent the enemy from coming through that one as well. In the medical room, Jim Bowie knows that he's about to die in the battle. He got hit 2 pistols and fired 2 shots at the Mexican forces before being bayoneted by all the soldiers in the room. It's a tragedy to see him go down this way in battle. All the walls are being breached except for the Alamo. All the David Crockett forces decided to fight in the one last battle. Alright, 5 of them fought to survive the battle. By the time daytime hit, there were piles of men on both sides. Tragedy. It was tragedy on that day. The battle was over. The one that survived were William Travis Slade, a daughter, and a mom, including none other than David Crockett. He survived the battle itself, but Santa wanted to use him as the advantage to bargain with Sam Houston or the U.S. Government for the safety of being trapped David Crockett himself. But however, Santa changed his mind and decided to execute David Crockett. There were a lot of stories that said that David Crockett did in fact survive the Alamo, but was executed, which they were all report from the Mexican officers and those who witnessed him being executed, which is crazy how Santa wanted to use David Crockett as a bargain to sue Sam Houston and the U.S. government. And so they decided to send the mom, the child, and William Travis Slade to Sam Houston to tell them what happened. And Sam Houston was mad. He tried to move his forces from Santa Ana, so that way it'd be a lot better to fight at where they wanted to be at. And so by the time Sam Houston decided to fight, he decided to pick the best spot, which to me is the most greatest battle that ever happened in this state. The battle is San Jacinto. I'm very sorry, alright? It's been a while to say this name because this battle is really, really important, alright? Santa Ana forces were not ready for what's about to happen to them in 1836. Sam Houston and his forces are ready to battle against Santa Ana, and so they decided to attack them in the morning, like where Santa Ana forces were not ready at all, and they attack, firing their two sister cannons at the position of the Mexican forces. And Sam Houston and his men charged to the enemy while they were not ready for battle. It was a crazy battle, amazing battle. The battle lasted for 18 minutes, alright? Mexican Santa Ana and his forces collapsed, forcing them to retreat from the battle itself. The battle of San Juan. This battle was amazing. Right here, check it out. Right here. One of the state right here, the cities. The battle was intense so much. By the time it over, the Mexican soldiers surrendered to the army of the Texas Republican forces. Not only they were captured, guess who else was captured? Santa Ana himself. Sam Houston and his forces had captured the president of Mexico. Alright? Forced him and his army to surrender Texas and to Sam Houston. Making that day the day that the Republic of Texas was born in 1836. Sam Houston became the president of the Republic of Texas in 1836. The country itself lasted from 1836 to 1845. That's basically almost 10 years. They became the 28th state of U.S. And so this movie was really important to me. Alright? I love this. I really love how the battle began. How this battle changed the course of U.S. history and Texas history. So, the aftermath of the movie came out. I hate how critics say crap about how the Alamo is not good at all, saying that it's not. I don't like how this story tell us and how these soldiers lost their battle and also inspire many more men and women to fight for this state. I'm like, dude, this battle helped bring Barradine to the army of Texas. Why this battle is very important to us. And so critics criticize how bad it is, which I don't like about, especially Rotten Tomatoes. I hate them for what they say about it. And I'm mad that it fell at the box office, becoming one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. I'm like, I don't know if people don't get the movie itself. If you are a true history person of the Alamo and the history of Texas, like me, you get what it means to all of us in this state and how important this movie was. All right, this movie was used in school in Texas. By the time you hit 5th grade or 6th grade, you would go to see the movie itself in gym, eat pizza and watch it. That's what I did in my school year. I watched it while I was in the gym eating a pizza and enjoyed the movie itself. I love this movie. It helped change everything, okay? I don't care what people say about this movie. This movie is more accurate than any other show or movie that came before it or after it. For this review for the Alamo itself, I give it a 9.9 out of 10. And this movie is the one to all the people that know the history of Texas right here, y'all. This movie is amazing, all right? And so this review for this movie and the history of Texas, it's great, all right? Thank you all so much for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel, hit the notification down below, and also comment down what history you guys want me to do on this channel next time, alright? So please enjoy your night, and I'll see you guys later on, y'all. Peace out.